Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for all your wishes. Let's begin. I have, I guess, only one doubt, which says bonus to employees. Please explain again. Okay, so I'll explain bonus to employees first. Then we quickly revise the entire accounting standard, whatever we have done till now, and then we go to the next part. As per the Income Tax Act, one of the provisions says that in case of bonus, you will get to claim a deduction only when you actually pay it. So if you make a provision, you will not get any deduction. You will get a deduction only when you actually pay for it. Now, when you only actually pay for it, that is the time when you get deduction. And this you will have to see, or this you will have to pay before filing, before the date of filing the return of income. Now, say for example, I show a provision for bonus, but do not pay it in this year. I pay it in the next year. I pay after the due date of filing the return of income. Then please understand, deduction will not be available in this year, but the deduction will be available in the next financial year. Or in income tax, you call it the next assessment year. So you will get that deduction in the next assessment year. However, the Companies Act will take the deduction today, but the Income Tax Act will take the deduction next year, which means when Companies Act takes the deduction and income tax does not, there arises a difference. And this difference will reverse itself in the next year when income tax will also take a deduction, which means bonus to employees is a timing difference, because the timing difference which originates today in this financial year will reverse itself in the next financial year. So a difference that arises today will reverse itself in the future, and that is why it is known as a timing difference. Right, Akshay? I hope that is absolutely clear to you. Okay, perfect. Since there are no more doubts, let's quickly revise whatever we have done in Accounting Standard 22, which is accounting for taxes on income. The first thing that we studied is that there are two kinds of acts, Companies Act and the Income Tax Act, and both are completely different. Both have different provisions. And that is why when even for the same financial year, for the same transactions, for 1 year, for the same company, you have two different profits. One is book profit, that is accounting profit, and the other is taxable income. And that is where it all begins. You will compare your statement of P&L and the computation of taxable income. Why will you do this? To identify the point of difference between the accounting profit and the taxable profit. The above difference then you will classify as timing difference and permanent difference. What is permanent difference? If there is a difference which originates in one period and does not reverse itself in the subsequent periods, is known as a permanent difference. What do you do with permanent differences? You will always ignore them. On the other hand, for timing difference, if there is a difference that originates today in one period and also reverses itself in one or more subsequent periods, then it results into uh, then it is known as a timing difference. A timing difference will either be a deferred tax asset or a deferred tax liability. After that, we did question number one, where we try to identify all these, whether they are timing or permanent difference. So penalties paid is a permanent difference, donation exceeding specified limit, permanent difference, agricultural income, permanent difference, bonus to employees is a timing difference, preliminary expenses timing difference, and of course expenses for which there is a weighted deduction is a permanent difference. Right, this much we have studied. I am once again giving you a couple of minutes, because if you understand what we have done till here, only then the next part will be easy for you. So everyone, quickly on the chat box, are you clear with this? If you have any doubts, please post it over here. If you have any doubts, please post it over here. Quickly, everyone on the chat box, are you clear with this? Akshay, Aman, Anjali, Bhavin, Dipesh, Dhani, Dhairya, Dhara, Digesh, Harshit, Harshita, Het, Ishika, Ishita, Kajal, Khushi, Manav, Nidhi, Nikita, Pushti, Raghav, Raj, Rizwan, Rohan, Samira, Shifa, Shreyas, Om, Sprua, Tulsi, and Zaid. Are you all absolutely clear with this? Okay, perfect. If you all are clear with this, let's go to the next part. If you all are clear with this, let's go to the next part. Before I go to the next part, let me give you one simple example and then we proceed. Say, for example, your profit is 1 lakh and also 1 lakh over here. This is accounts, this is tax. Let's take depreciation. Say, for example, depreciation is 50,000 over here and depreciation is, say, for example, 80,000 over here. Okay. Can you tell me the net profit as per accounts how much? As per tax how much? As per accounts how much? And as per tax how much? As per accounts you get 50,000. As per tax you get 20,000. Okay. Please pay attention. Tax rate is 10%. Tell me, what's your tax as per accounts? Tax as per tax. Your tax as per accounts is 5,000. Tax as per income tax is 2,000. Okay. Now please pay attention. Where do you have more tax to pay? Where do you have more tax to be paid? Accounts? Okay. Where do you have less tax to be paid? Tax. Okay. So you have more tax to be paid in accounts, less tax to be paid as per income tax act. Now my next question to you is, please pay attention. Please understand this carefully and please focus. Say, for example, or let me first ask you a very simple question. When will I do all this working? When will I do all this hard work? When will I do all this working? In case of permanent difference or timing difference? ये सब वर्किंग कब करना पड़ेगा? परमानेंट डिफरेंस में या टाइमिंग डिफरेंस में? एवरीवन अग्रीज? टाइमिंग डिफरेंस? ओके. परमानेंट डिफरेंस होगा तो क्या करूंगा मैं? What will I do when I have permanent difference? Of course, I will ignore. Excellent, very good. Whenever you have timing difference, you will do the working. Whenever you have permanent difference, you will have to ignore it. Okay. Now, according to you, this I will do when I have timing difference, which means difference that originates today will reverse itself in the future. And you all told me that there is more tax as per accounts, right? I am again asking you one question. Today I have to pay more tax as per accounts or income tax? Today I have to pay more tax as per accounts or income tax? Of course, as per accounts. The next year when this difference will reverse, tell me, more tax as per accounts or income tax? The next year when this difference will reverse itself, you will have more tax as per accounts or income tax? Of course, as per income tax. Okay, now please pay attention. I'm writing over here, please pay attention. It means pay more today, or maybe pay less today, pay more in the future. right? Because you are paying less today because you got more deduction. हमको आज ज्यादा डिडक्शन मिला इसलिए हम कम टैक्स पे कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आने वाले साल जब ये रिवर्स होगा तब मुझे ज्यादा टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा. Pay less today, pay more in the future. Does everyone agree with this statement? Pay less today, pay more in the future. Yes or no? Quickly, without wasting time, everyone on the chat box. This is the key point of the accounting standard. If you understand this, you will be able to do every question. If you don't understand this, you will not understand any question. Everyone agrees it is pay less today, pay more in the future. Okay. Now, when you have to pay more in the future, tell me, is it asset or liability? When you have to pay more in the future, is it asset or liability? When you have to pay more in the future, is it your asset or liability? Of course, everyone is correct. This is your liability. So this is known as deferred tax liability. Are you understanding? This is known as what? Deferred tax liability. Are you understanding? I am again repeating for you. Please pay attention because this is the key point in the accounting standard. Right now, please pay attention. I have total profit of 1 lakh and I have depreciation where for accounts it is 50 and for tax it is 80. As we have already discussed, depreciation is a timing difference. So my net profit is 50,000 and 20,000. As per the tax rate that I have 10%, my tax as per accounts comes to 5,000 and tax as per the Income Tax Act comes to 2,000. Because I have more deduction as per the Income Tax Act, I will have to pay lesser tax today. But since this is a timing difference, it will reverse itself in the future, which means I have to pay less today, pay more in the future. Because I have to pay more in the future, it is liability. So this is known as a deferred tax liability. Right, let's quickly have a look at what they have explained over here. Look at this. Recognition of deferred tax asset and deferred tax liability. See what they are saying. Compare tax paid in the current year with the tax to be paid in the subsequent year. आज कितना पे करना है और आगे जाके कितना पे करना है, इसको वो क्या कह रहे हैं, आप कंपेयर करो. Compare tax paid in the current year with the tax to be paid in the subsequent year. If tax paid in the current year is lower, let's begin with this. If tax paid in the current year is lower, what will happen? You will recognize deferred tax asset. Come to this point. If tax paid in the subsequent year is higher, pay less today, pay more in the future. If to be paid in the subsequent year is higher, you will recognize deferred tax liability. देखो ये नीचे लिखा है because you have to pay more in the future. Just add the word future over here. Because you have to pay more in the future. On the other hand, look at this. If tax to be paid in the subsequent year is lower, you will recognize deferred tax asset because you have to pay less. Just add over here in the future. Because you have to pay less in the future. I'm just adding over here. Just add this because you have to pay more in the future. Because you have to pay less in the future. Just add these two. Because you have to pay more in the future, just add these three words because you have to pay less in the future. Right, I hope you all have added this because you have to pay more in the future and less in the future. Okay, let's proceed. What will happen if you have deferred tax liability? So everyone quickly on the chat box. Liability has what kind of balance? Debit or credit? Liability has what kind of balance? Debit or credit? Your liability has what kind of balance? Debit or credit? Of course, your liability has a credit balance. Now, because your liability has a credit balance, because your liability has a credit balance, your journal entry for deferred tax liability will be profit and loss account debit to deferred tax liability account. It is profit and loss account debit to deferred tax liability. Right, quickly everyone, are you all clear with this? Are you all clear with this? Yes or no? Quickly everyone on the chat box. Okay, perfect. If you all are clear with this, let's go to the next part. If you all are clear with this, let's go to the next part. Let's take another example. Can someone help me solve this? Can someone help me solve this part? Ishika, can you help us solve this part, second part? On the chat box quickly. Ishika, can you help us solve this second part? Okay. Here you go.
Hello, sir.
Yes, okay. So you have profit 1 lakhs. Everyone please pay attention to what she is saying and please try and understand. So your depreciation as per accounts is 80 and depreciation as per tax is 40. Tell me what next? What's your net profit?
As per accounts, 20,000.
Okay,
As per tax, 60,000.
okay. What if your tax rate is 10%? What's your tax?
2,000 and 6,000.
Okay, can you explain this scenario the way we did in the part above?
Okay. So here in account, as per accounts, depreciation is more. So our tax is less.
Okay,
And as per tax, we have paid depreciation. Depreciation is less. So tax is more.
okay. Then are you paying less today or are you paying more today?
We are paying more today.
How are you paying more today?
So more tax, 6,000.
Okay, so you pay more today. Is this a timing difference?
Yes, sir.
Will it reverse itself in the future?
Yes, sir.
Will you pay less or more in the future?
Less.
Okay, so you have pay less in the future. Tell me, if you have to pay less in the future because you have paid more today, is it your asset or liability?
Asset.
So this is known as,
Deferred tax asset.
this is your deferred tax asset. Okay, can you tell me the journal entry as well?
Yes, sir. Deferred tax asset. Debit.
You have deferred tax asset account will be debited
To profit and loss account credit.
to profit and loss account. Okay, perfect. What if this was a this was a permanent difference? What would we have done?
We would have ignored it.
Okay, and timing difference leads to which two things?
Sorry.
टाइमिंग डिफरेंस अगर होगा तो उसके तो रिजल्ट में दो चीजें जो हो सकती है वो क्या हो सकती है?
Sorry, sir. I don't know.
I'm again repeating the question for you. You said permanent difference we will ignore,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Okay. What if it is timing? What if it is timing difference? What possible things you will have when it is timing difference? One is, see over here. When you have timing difference, what will you have? A timing difference will lead to this one. A timing difference will lead to. Can you see this on the screen?
Yes, sir.
A timing difference will lead to deferred
Time.
tax asset or deferred tax liability. Here it is. Sorry, I pointed out the wrong thing. A timing difference will lead to deferred
Deferred
tax
tax
asset or
assets.
deferred tax liability. So remember one thing, everyone. Permanent difference will lead to nothing, you will ignore. But timing difference will either be deferred tax asset or deferred tax liability. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Ishika. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you all clear with this? Yes or no? Are you all clear with this? If you have any doubts, please ask me. Everyone on the chat box, are you clear with this? This is the most important part of this accounting standard. If you understand this, a lot of things become absolutely simple and easy. Okay. I had one doubt which says, is DTA DTL provided in case of companies or all entities? So to whom this accounting standard is applicable, to each such entity, this accounting standard will be applicable and DTA and DTL will have to be provided. Right, okay. If you all are clear with this and if there are no doubts, let's proceed to question number 2. Practice question 2. करना क्या है ध्यान देना, आप लोग solve करोगे. There are how many questions? There are 10 questions. So you have a good amount to practice over here. So let's begin with that and let's focus on that. I have one more doubt which says provision for current tax is made as per Income Tax Act or Income Tax Act. Remember, provision will always be made as per the Income Tax Act because you have to pay as per the Income Tax Act. So every provision for current tax is made as per the Income Tax Act. Right, I hope Raj that solves your doubt. Okay, let's proceed with practice question 2. Now each question you will solve for me. If you have understood it conceptually, you will solve for me. Let's come to the first one. Karna kya hai? I'm again repeating that for you. From the following information, identify whether they are permanent or timing differences and also recognize DTA oblique DTL. So we have to recognize whether it is a DTA or a deferred tax liability. Right? Case number 1. Okay. Anjali, can you try case number 1 for us? Anjali, can you try solving case number 1? Okay, here you go. Case 1. I am reading the case for you. Please pay attention and then you will conceptually explain to us how to solve this. You have depreciation as per tax 50,000 and depreciation as per books 1 lakh rupees. So I'm first writing over here 1. Depreciation, you have tax and you have accounts. Yes, Anjali, go ahead.
So depreciation as per tax is 1 lakh and as per books is 1 lakh and as per tax is 50,000. That means more depreciation is as per books. Hence
Okay,
the
so
net
there is
profit
more
will be
depreciation
lesser
over.
in accounts compared to the tax. That means we have paid more today. That means we will pay less in the future. So it is asset, deferred tax asset.
Okay, so you mean that because 1 lakh of deduction you have availed in accounts, there is more depreciation as per accounts and only 50,000 has been taken, so there is less depreciation as per tax. Wherever you will have more depreciation, you will have less tax, and wherever you will have less depreciation, you will have more tax. So is it pay more today or pay less today?
Pay more today.
You have pay more today, pay less in the future. This is what deferred tax, asset or liability. This will be deferred tax asset or liability. This will be deferred tax asset. Okay, Anjali, can you help us out with the journal entry?
Deferred tax account debit,
To,
P&L account.
okay, deferred tax asset account debit to the profit and loss account. Okay, we started off by missing out one thing. We always have to first decide whether this is timing difference or permanent difference. So tell me, is it timing or permanent difference?
So depreciation means it is timing difference. It will reverse in future
Perfect,
at some
excellent.
point of time.
Excellent, perfect. So this is timing difference and it leads to deferred tax asset. Fine, perfect. Thank you, Anjali.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, look at the solution. It says timing difference and deferred tax asset. So this is definitely a timing difference and will lead to a deferred tax asset. Right, okay, perfect. That was very well explained. Let's go to the second one now. Second one. Dhairya, can you help us solve the second one? Dhairya, can you help us solve the second case? Okay, here you go.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so I'm reading the question for you. It says penalty paid as per the Income Tax Act 5,000.
Yes. As per Income Tax Act, the penalty paid cannot be availed as a deduction.
Okay,
This can be a permanent difference which does not reverse itself in the future.
perfect. It will be permanent difference. What do you do with permanent difference?
We will ignore it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Dhairya.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, so penalties, as we've already discussed earlier, is a permanent difference, and because it is a permanent difference, you will not be able to avail the deduction for this. Okay, Dara, can you try the next one? Question 3. Okay, here you go.
Yes, sir.
I'm reading the question for you. It says excise duty not paid before the due date. Now, for your information, I'm just updating you that since we had the manner in which we had bonus, that same provision also includes excise duty. तो जो ट्रीटमेंट बोनस का था वही सेम ट्रीटमेंट एक्साइज ड्यूटी पे भी एप्लीकेबल होता है.
Okay,
Are you
sir.
clear with this? If you're clear with this, let's proceed. Excise duty not paid before the due date. How will we treat it?
Excise duty not paid before due date. So can you please elaborate it again?
Yeah, of course, I'll elaborate for you. So excise duty is a part of that provision which says कि आपको डिडक्शन तभी मिलेगा जब आप उसको एक्चुअली पे करोगे, which means मान लीजिए आपने 1920 में ऐसा बताया कि मुझे एक्साइज ड्यूटी पे करनी है, तब आप सिर्फ प्रोविजन क्रिएट करते हो, लेकिन आप पे करते हो 2021 में. आई एम अगेन रिपीटिंग, 1920 you create a provision, 2021 you actually pay. The provision says that you will get a deduction only when you actually paid. Now tell me, when will you get deduction, 1920 or 2021?
2021.
2021, right? So because you have you will get a deduction in 2021. In accounts you will get deduction today, but in income tax you will get deduction in the year in which you pay, that is the next year. Will this lead to difference, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Will this difference reverse itself in the future, yes or no?
Yes.
So this is what kind of difference?
Timing difference.
टाइमिंग डिफरेंस. ओके, अब आपको मैंने पूरा कंसेप्ट समझा दिया है. अब आप मुझे टेक्निकली समझाइए, डिफर्ड टैक्स असेट है या लायबिलिटी है?
हाँ, तो we will make provision. So as of now, it will be more in current year.
Okay, you tell me how much. Suppose, say for example, excise duty is 10,000. Let's take that example. मान लीजिए एक्साइज ड्यूटी 10,000 है. आपको कौन से एक्ट में डिडक्शन मिलने वाला है? अकाउंट्स में या टैक्स में? किस में डिडक्शन आज मिलने वाला है, टुडे?
Accounts.
So I'm writing over here. Will you get deduction in income tax today?
No.
Okay. Is this a permanent difference?
No.
Will it reverse itself in the future next year?
Yes. Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you get deduction in accounts and you do not get deduction in tax, where will your tax be more? Income tax or accounts?
In the tax.
In the tax. So I'm writing over here more. Where will it be less?
In the accounts.
Accounts. Okay. Are you paying more today or are you paying less today?
Paying more today.
You are paying more today. So is this statement valid?
Yes.
Is this statement valid? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So you pay more today, pay less in the future. Tell me, this is?
Deferred tax asset.
Of course, this is deferred tax asset. So the answer is this timing or permanent difference?
Timing difference.
So the answer is timing difference and deferred tax asset. Are you getting it? Okay, one more question. What if this was bonus? Instead of excise duty, what if it was bonus? Will the treatment be same or it will be different?
It will be different.
Okay, perfect. Fine, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have excise duty exactly same treatment as we have understood for bonus. It is of course a timing difference and it will lead to deferred tax asset. Right, let's come to the fourth one. The fourth one is bonus to employees not paid before the due date. Okay, Heth, can you try solving this question? Okay. Yes, Heth, go ahead. It says bonus to employees not paid before the due date.
In income tax, we will not get deduction.
In income tax, you will not get deduction. Okay, then.
We will have to pay more tax in the current year.
Okay.
So deferred tax asset.
Okay, so if first of all, we should begin with whether it is a timing difference or it is a permanent difference.
Timing difference.
So this is a timing difference. Why is it a timing difference?
It will get reversed in the future when we will pay bonus to the employee.
Okay, so today you will get deduction in accounts, but today you will not get any deduction in tax. So which means you will pay more tax today and you will have to pay less in the future because you pay more today and pay less in the future. This is deferred tax asset.
Tax.
So the answer is timing difference and deferred tax asset. Right, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. So everyone has got it right till now. Okay, let me tell you one more thing before I proceed. It will happen to someone of you, or it may happen to any one of you, that right now when you're understanding, you understand everything and you are able to solve the questions. Today when you go home and revise, you may forget everything. That's okay. That's normal in accounting standard 22. It sometimes happens कि आज आपको यहाँ पे सब समझ में आया, घर जाके जैसे आप पढ़ोगे आप सब भूल जाओगे और आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा. फिर ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि आपको आज कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया लेकिन घर आपने फिर से प्रैक्टिस किया तो सब समझ में आ गया. Just give accounting standard 22 2 days from now. आप उसको 2 दिन अच्छे से पढ़ो, मतलब पूरा दिन नहीं पढ़ना है. आप एक बार आज रिवाइज कीजिए और एक बार कल दोबारा रिवाइज करना. Then you will never get any kind of confusion. Just be conceptually clear. Do not mug up anything. आपको पता होना चाहिए what is timing difference, what is permanent difference, where are you paying more, where are you paying less, what is deferred tax asset. Asset has a debit balance, liability has a credit balance. Record the journal entry. Just think conceptually rather than mugging it up. So if you go back today and revise and if you don't understand anything, all your answers are incorrect, please don't panic. It is normal. It happened to me when I studied AS-22 for the first time. It happened to almost everyone who studied AS-22 for the first time. Right? That is why I call it a technical accounting standard. It is absolutely simple if you understand the concept, but it is technical, so you need a little more practice. Are you understanding? So please remember that. It may so happen that you go back today and you revise and you do not know anything. All your answers are incorrect. That's okay. Don't panic. Just relax. Revise it once again and I'm sure you will get it back. And if you don't get it anywhere, if you don't get it or if you are stuck up anywhere, please ask me. Right, okay. Let's go to the next one. Question number 5. Kajal, can you help us solve question number 5? Kajal, can you help us solve question number 5? Okay, here you go. Question 5.
Yes, sir. Depreciation as per tax 10,000 and as per account 2,000.
Okay, perfect. So let me put that first. Depreciation as per tax is given and depreciation as per accounts is also given. So this, how much is your depreciation as per tax?
10,000,
And as per accounts is
2,000.
1,000. Okay, go ahead.
It means we pay less today and we will pay less more in future.
No, but let's not do
Time.
that. Wait, let's not do that. Let's begin stepwise. Is depreciation a timing difference or a permanent difference?
Timing difference.
Can you tell me why timing difference?
Because we will reverse it in future.
No, we will not reverse it in future. Depreciation that is creating the difference today, that difference will reverse itself in the future.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Where do you have more depreciation?
In taxation.
And where do you have less depreciation?
Accounts.
Okay. Where will you have more tax?
Accounts.
Where will you have less tax?
Tax. In tax.
Okay. Are you paying more today or are you paying less today?
Less
आज आप
today.
ज़्यादा पे कर रहे हैं कि आज आप कम पे कर रहे हैं?
Less today.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you pay less today and pay more in the future. So you pay less today
Yes, sir.
and pay more in the future. Tell me, what will it be? Deferred tax asset or deferred tax
Def- uh,
liability?
deferred tax liability.
Okay, because you have to pay more in the future. So you have
Future.
deferred tax liability. Can you tell me the journal entry?
P&L account debit to deferred tax liability account.
Okay, you'll have profit and loss account debit to DTL account. So this is what? Your timing difference, and it will lead to
Difference.
deferred tax liability. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Kajal.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, perfect. You all have got that right. Let's go to the next one then. Question 6, which is again based on depreciation. So let's see if Raj, can you help us solve the next one? Question 6. Okay, here you go. Question 6. I'm reading the question for you. Pay attention and then you will solve it. It says depreciation as per tax is 1 lakh and depreciation as per accounts is 1,20,000. Go ahead.
So first of all, depreciation is a timing difference.
Okay.
So there will be a possibility of DTA or DTL. Now we have provided more depreciation as per books of accounts.
Just give me a moment before I copy that. Okay. How much in tax?
1 lakh,
Okay. How much in accounts?
1,20,000.
Okay. Then
So profit as per taxation will be more as compared to accounts.
okay, let's begin. Where do you have more depreciation?
More depreciation in accounts,
Okay. And in tax?
less depreciation.
Less depreciation. Where will you have more tax?
We will have more tax in as per taxation.
So you have more tax over here and you have less tax over here. Are you paying less today or more today?
We are paying less today.
Are you sure?
Sorry, we are paying more today. Sorry,
Yes.
my
So
mistake.
these are
We
the
are paying.
points where you will get confused. So everyone please remember, in accounting standard 22, cross check your answer twice. Trust me, when I am teaching you, even I cross check my answer twice, because this is that kind of a standard where each step you will get confused because somewhere you have more, somewhere you have less. So there are chances this will happen. So please cross check twice. Even I do it after teaching for so many years. Even I still cross check it twice. So that is good to cross check twice. So yes, Raj, pay more today or pay less today?
We'll be paying more today
Pay more today
and
pay
less
in
in
the
subsequent years.
Tell me, deferred tax.
Asset.
So this is of course your timing difference, and because you're paying more today, this is deferred tax. Can you tell me the journal entry?
It will be deferred tax account debit to P&L account.
Deferred tax asset account debit to profit and loss account. Right, okay. Thank you, Raj. That was
Thank you,
absolutely
sir.
right. Thank you. Okay, very good. All questions correct till now. Come to the 7th one. And in case 7, Shifa, can you try question 7? Shifa, can you try question 7? Okay. Here you go.
Yes, sir.
Question 7.
Yes. Sir, over here, it's depreciation. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, of course. Please go ahead.
Sir, over here, it is depreciation. Therefore, it will be a timing difference because it will be reversed in future.
Okay, so let me put that first for you. you have depreciation. So yes, that will be a timing difference because it can reverse itself in the future. How much depreciation do you have where?
As per tax is it is 1,20,000,
Okay,
and accounts it is 60,000.
perfect. Tell me, where do you have more depreciation?
More depreciation is in tax
And as
and
per
less in
accounts?
accounts.
Okay. If you have more depreciation as per tax, where will you pay more tax?
In accounts.
So you have more tax over here and you have less tax over here.
Yes,
Tell me, pay more today or pay less today?
we are paying less today and we will be paying more in future.
So you have pay less today, pay
And
more
pay
in the future. DTA or DTL?
DTL because
You
we
have.
have to pay more in future.
Perfect. You have deferred tax
Lab.
liability. So you have to pay
It's
more.
a timing difference.
Please also tell me the journal entry.
P&L account debit to deferred tax liability account.
Excellent. That is absolutely right. You have profit and loss account debit to deferred tax liability account. So basically, this is timing difference, which will lead to deferred tax liability.
Tax liability.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, let's go to the eighth one. Let's go to the eighth one. That's an interesting case. So first, whoever will try solving this, first I will explain to you, and then we proceed with the solution. So Simran, can you try solving this? I will help you, of course, with the concept in taxation, but can you still try solving it? Simran, can you try solving this question? Simran, can you try solving this question? Okay, perfect. Here you go.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes. So let's begin. I'm reading the question for you. I will explain the provision and then it is all on you. You will have to solve it. Right? Let's
Yes, sir.
begin. In an expense of rupees 20,000, TDS is not deducted. I hope you all know the meaning of TDS. It is tax deducted at source,
Yes,
which
sir.
is leading to disallowance to the extent of 30%. Now, Simran and everyone, please understand carefully. The income tax has provisions from section 192 of the Income Tax Act, which all pertains to tax deducted at source. So what you have to do is, if there is some expense, आप उसको TDS काटने के बाद आप पेमेंट करते हो. क्योंकि आप TDS काटने के बाद पेमेंट करते हो, आपको डर नहीं है कि जिसके हाथ में इनकम है वो शायद टैक्स अवॉइड करेगा. वो पॉसिबल नहीं है. आप टैक्स काट के ही सामने वाले को पैसे दे रहे हो, तो आप टैक्स काट के गवर्नमेंट को डिपॉजिट करते हो. इनकम टैक्स एक्ट का प्रोविजन ये कहता है कि अगर आपने कोई एक्सपेंस किया लेकिन टीडीएस नहीं काटा, तो आपको अपने बुक्स में उसका डिडक्शन नहीं मिलेगा.
Okay.
तो क्या लाइफ टाइम नहीं मिलेगा? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. जिस साल आप एक्चुअली डिडक्ट करके गवर्नमेंट को पे कर दोगे, उस साल आपको डिडक्शन मिल जाएगा. मतलब मान लीजिए 1920 में मैंने सिमरन को 20,000 रुपीज पे किए, लेकिन मैंने आपके वहां पे मैंने आपके एक्सपेंस पे टीडीएस नहीं काटा, तो आपको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, मुझे डिडक्शन नहीं मिलेगा. ये डिडक्शन मुझे कब मिलेगा? जब मैं अगले साल ये टीडीएस काट के गवर्नमेंट को डिपॉजिट कर दूंगा.
Okay.
Are you getting this?
Okay.
So I will get deduction when I actually pay. Now Simran, my question to you is it timing difference or permanent difference?
So it is timing difference.
Okay, why timing difference?
So because if we will deduct it in subsequent years, so we will get the deduction in that year.
Right, so
it will
difference
reverse
that
itself.
arises today will
It will
reverse
revert.
itself in the future.
Future.
Okay, let's take this case, the eighth one, which is TDS not deducted. Okay, tell me, are you paying more today or less today?
So we are paying more today.
So you have tax and you have accounts.
Yes.
You are paying more
Today.
tax and you are paying less as per
Less.
accounts. Okay,
Yes.
so it is pay more today, pay
And
less.
less in future.
Tell me, deferred tax asset or deferred tax liability?
Deferred tax asset.
Yes, because you have to pay less in the future. So this
Future.
is the timing difference which is leading to deferred tax
Tax
asset.
asset.
Right, let's check that. You have timing difference and deferred tax asset. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Simran.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Perfect. All 8 you all have got it correct. Let's go to the last 2. Let's go to the last 2. Come to I. We've already discussed this case. Let's see if you all can solve it. Shreyas, can you try solving question 9? Shreyas, can you try solving question 9? Shreyas, can you try solving question 9? Quickly on the chat box. Okay. Spruha, can you try solving question 9? Okay. Here you go. Question 9.
Yes, sir.
It says rupees 1 lakh was spent on scientific research, and for this weighted deduction of 200% was available. Tell me, how will you understand or explain this?
Since this is a weighted deduction available, it is available only as per Income Tax Act and not as per Companies Act.
Okay.
So it will lead to a permanent difference, and hence we will ignore it.
Permanent difference. And what will you do?
Ignore it.
All right. Okay, absolutely correct. Thank you, Spruha.
Thank you, sir.
This is of course a permanent difference because the weighted deduction benefit you will not get into account. So, and this difference will never ever reverse itself in the future. Because it will never ever reverse itself in the future, this is a permanent difference. Right, let's go to the last part now, the last question and the most important question. So please mark question number 10 as important. And let's see who can try this question. Nikita, can you try this question? Nikita, can you try this question?
Yes, sir.
Let's begin. Question number 10. I'm reading the question for you. Please pay attention. It says X Limited obtained an asset for rupees 10 lakhs. कितने का asset लिया हमने? 10 लाख का. एक साल के बाद, after 1 year, the WDV is 8,80,000 and 9 lakhs as per books and tax respectively. So for the first time, they have not given you the depreciation amount. They have given you the WDV. As per tax, your WDV is 9 lakhs, and as per accounts, your WDV is 8,80,000,
Yes.
and your cost of the asset is
10.
10 lakhs. Okay, tell me,
Depreciation,
how much is your depreciation as per tax?
1 lakh.
Okay, 1 lakh. And how much over here?
1,20,000.
Right. So this is just a different manner of giving information. If you find this out, then it becomes an ordinary question. Now tell me, what will happen next? Where do you have more depreciation?
We will pay more depreciation in account, so we are going to pay more tax in
Okay,
tax.
so you have more tax since you have lesser depreciation, and you have less tax since you have more depreciation. Okay, tell me, timing difference, permanent difference.
Timing difference,
Of course, it is a timing difference. Why is it a timing difference?
because it will be reversed in the future.
Because the difference that originates today will reverse itself in the future. Okay, are you paying more today or less today?
More today,
Why more today?
because we have provided less depreciation as per taxation.
Excellent. So you have less depreciation today to be paid more in the future. This is DTA or DTL?
DTA.
So this is deferred tax asset. Can you tell me the journal entry, please?
Yes, deferred tax asset account debit to P&L account.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Nikita. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Right, that was really excellent. Every one of you got it right at the first time. So your answer to the 10th question is timing difference and deferred tax asset. Right, perfect. Quickly, everyone on the chat box, are you all clear with this? Yes or no? This is the key part of this accounting standard, because everything that will now follow will be as per this concept that we have understood. So quickly, everyone on the chat box, are you clear with this? I want each one of you. So Nikita, Akshay, Aman, Anjali, Dipesh, Dhani, Dhairya, Dhara, Digesh, Harshit, Harshita, Het, Ishika, Ishita, Kajal, Khushi, Manav, Nidhi, Pavan, Pushti, Raghav, Raj, Rizwan, Rohan, Samira, Shifa, Shivai, Shreyas, Simran, Om, Spruha, and Tulsi. Everyone on the chat box. Everyone on the chat box, are you clear with this? Let's see if we have some doubts. Okay, I have one doubt, which says please repeat TDS in brief. Okay, I'll do that. Rest, I guess I have already solved. So let's go to TDS. Okay, what happens in TDS? Please understand that carefully, Anjali. What happens in TDS is when you pay an expense, when you pay to someone, and if TDS is to be deducted on that expense, you will have to first deduct TDS and only then pay the balance amount. मान लीजिए 10,000 रुपीज पे करना है और 1,000 TDS है, तो आप 9,000 ही पे करोगे, 1,000 आप डिडक्ट करोगे। डिडक्ट करने के बाद आपको सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को पे करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि टैक्स दो गवर्नमेंट्स लेती है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट। टीडीएस जो है वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का लेवी है, तो वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट लेती है। जब सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का लेवी है तो आपको वो डिडक्ट करके सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को पे करना है। मान लीजिए आपने डिडक्ट नहीं किया, या डिडक्ट तो कर लिया लेकिन पे नहीं किया, तो आपको वो 10,000 रुपीज का डिडक्शन आपके बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में नहीं मिलेगा। आपको 30% डिसअलाउ कर देंगे, 70% का ही डिडक्शन मिलेगा। फिर आप उनसे पूछोगे कि 30% जो आपने डिडक्ट किया वो कब मिलेगा डिडक्शन, तो वो कहेंगे जब आप एक्चुअली पे करोगे तब आपको डिडक्शन मिलेगा। आप एक्चुअली कब पे करोगे, नेक्स्ट ईयर में मान लीजिए, तो आपको नेक्स्ट ईयर में वो डिडक्शन मिल जाएगा, व्हिच मींस देयर इज अ डिफरेंस दैट अराइजेस टुडे, बिकॉज़ यू डू नॉट गेट डिडक्शन टुडे, यू गेट इट इन द नेक्स्ट ईयर। So there is a deduction, there is something that you that a difference arises today and it will reverse itself in the future. So this is deferred, this is a timing difference, right? Anjali, I hope that is absolutely clear to you. Okay, excellent. I have one more question which says, can a permanent difference be turned into timing difference in the future? I don't think that is possible, Dhara. So a permanent difference will remain a permanent difference. That will not convert itself into a timing difference in the future. Right, I hope, Dhara, that solves your doubt as well. Right, I hope, Dhara, that solves your doubt. Okay, perfect. So I think all your doubts are also done. What I recommend is now that let's take a 10 minutes break. It is 9:20. I will see you back at 9:30. And then we begin with the study material questions. So let's see what kind of questions are asked in the study material. So let's solve the study material question. But right now, take a 10 minutes break. I'll see you sharp at 9:30. Right, thank you. Take a 10 minutes break. Okay, let's continue with your study material question. So everyone come to page number 1.111 of your study material. One point triple one of your study material. Okay, let's begin solving this question. Let me first solve this question. Understand it carefully. I will give you sufficient time to copy afterwards. As of now, just try and understand this concept. Just try and understand this question. It says Rama Limited has provided the following information. Depreciation as per accounting records is 2 lakhs and depreciation as per income tax records is 5 lakhs. And you have unamortized preliminary expenses as per tax records 30,000. Then it says there is adequate evidence of future profit sufficiency. Just ignore this statement as of now. In the next lecture, when I'll do the next concept, I'll explain this statement to you. As of now, please ignore it. Question क्या पूछा है? How much deferred tax asset oblique liability should be recognized as transition adjustment? The tax rate is 50%. Right, so we have been given two items, depreciation and unamortized preliminary expenses, and they have asked us how much DTA or DTL needs to be recognized. So let's solve this question. Illustration 1, study material question. You have illustration number 1, study material question, page 1.111. Let me first solve this question only and just try and understand whatever I am doing. I will give you sufficient time to copy. So please focus on the solution. Let's prepare a systematic format. You have particulars, you have amount in rupees, difference, you have deferred tax, and you have amount. This is how your format should look like. Okay, let's begin with the first one. It says depreciation as per accounting records and depreciation as per income tax records. Okay, everyone on the chat box, where do you have more depreciation, accounts or taxation? Where do you have more depreciation, accounts or taxation? Of course, you have it as per tax. So let's put that excess of depreciation as per tax records. 5 lakhs minus 2 lakhs. How much excess depreciation do you have? On the chat box. How much excess depreciation do you have? 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs, okay. Tell me, is it timing difference or permanent difference? Is it timing difference or permanent difference? Everyone agrees it is timing difference. Okay. Now let's get to the next step. As per tax, as per accounts. Always prepare this. You will never ever make a mistake. The question says as per tax is 5 lakhs and as per accounts is 2 lakhs. So as per tax, 5 lakhs. As per accounts, 2 lakhs. So you have more depreciation. You have less depreciation. So you have less tax. You have more tax. Tell me, pay less today, pay more in the future. This is deferred tax liability. So I'm writing over here deferred tax liability. Okay, look at the question. What's your tax rate in the question? What is your tax rate in the question? %. So let's calculate that. Your difference is 3 lakhs into 50%, क्योंकि ये 3 lakhs पे 50% जितना difference आने वाला है. You get how much? 1,50,000. You get how much? 1,50,000. Let's go to the next one. Unamortized preliminary expenses as per tax records. You have unamortized preliminary expenses as per tax records. Tell me, how much is the unamortized preliminary expenses as per tax records in the question? How much unamortized preliminary expenses are there? 30,000? 30,000. Now please understand, unamortized preliminary expenses, income tax has a different provision, Companies Act has a different provision. Companies Act will allow you to take everything in one go. Income tax will tell you divide it into 5 subsequent years, which means a difference that originates today will reverse itself in the future. This is timing difference. Right, this will be timing difference. Now what do you have to understand in this question? Please focus on that. It is unamortized as per income tax records. Now everyone on the chat box, because it is unamortized in the income tax records, tell me, have you debited your P&L as per income tax? Yes or no? Have you debited your P&L as per the Income Tax Act? Yes or no? You have not yet debited it. Okay, excellent. If you have not yet debited it, are you paying more tax or less tax? If you have not debited this to your P&L yet, sorry, are you paying more tax or less tax? More tax. Okay, perfect. Everyone is correct. More tax. Will this reverse itself in the future? Yes or no? Will this reverse itself in the future? Of course, it will reverse itself in the future. Now, my next question to you is, are you paying more today or are you paying less today? Are you paying more today or are you paying less today? Yes, of course, you are paying more today. So you pay more today, pay less in the future. This is DTA or DTL? This is DTA. Excellent, perfect. This is DTA. Your amount is 30,000. Tax rate is 50%. Comes to 15,000. Okay, now this is where you will have to be careful. Next point, please pay attention, everyone. You have DTA and DTL both in one question. Now what you have to tell me is, do you have more DTL or you have more DTA? ज़्यादा क्या है, DTL or DTA? What do you have more, DTL or DTA? You have DTL. So you cannot have, remember one thing clearly, you cannot have both in one question. You cannot say कि एक इस question में DTL भी है और DTA भी है. You will have to have net amount. So because DTL is more, I am writing net DTL. I am writing what? Net DTL. Net DTL is how much? ध्यान देना, आपका DTL 1,50,000 था, आपका DTA 15,000 है. So your net amount will be 1,50,000 minus 1,35,000, sorry, minus 15,000. Your answer will be 1,35,000. How do you get that? 1,50,000 minus 15,000. You get 1,35,000. You get how much? 1,35,000. Right, this is your net deferred tax liability. You have net deferred tax liability of 1,35,000. Right, remember one thing. एक ही बैलेंस शीट में DTL DTA दोनों नहीं आ सकता, या तो DTL आएगा या DTA आएगा. You will just have to net it off. Right, okay. Quickly, everyone on the chat box, are you clear with this? Everyone, this is a very important question. This has been asked twice in the exam. So, and it is your study material question. So everyone on the chat box, are you clear with this? Akshay, Aman, Anjali, Dipesh, Dhani, Dhairya, Dhara, Digesh, Harshit, Harshita, Het, Ishika, Ishita, Kajal, Khushi, Manav, Nidhi, Nikita, Pavan, Pushti, Raghav, Raj, Rizwan, Rohan, Samira, Shifa, Shivai, Shreyas, Simran, Om, Spruha, and Tulsi. Are you all absolutely clear with this? Okay, perfect then. So what I'll do is I'll copy this solution on your WhatsApp group so that you can take it down properly. Do revise whatever we have done today. Remember, you may get confused. It's okay. Just revise it once again and you will get it. Right? Thank you so much for attending. Go back today, revise everything that we have done. If you have any doubts, please come back to me. I will help you solve it. And then we will proceed. Right, I have one doubt, which let me just explain that doubt and then I think we are done. So Sprua, you're not, what you're saying is incorrect. You have not paid less today. In accounts you got deduction, in income tax you have yet not got deduction, because preliminary expenses you have not yet amortized in the income tax act. You have more profit as per income tax act क्योंकि आपने deduction नहीं लिया. Because you have more profit as per income tax act, you pay more today, you will pay less in the future. This is deferred tax asset. Right? I hope, Sprua, that is absolutely clear to you. Okay, perfect. Fine. Do revise the entire accounting standard today. If you have any doubt, please get back to me. Thank you so much for attending, and I'll now see you the next time whenever we have our lecture and we proceed with the next part of AS-22. Right? Thank you.